on a regular basis, this is where demos become really important for the team. It keeps working. Your part and everyone else's part works. That's because like this organization knows what the heck they're doing. It's when things go up and there's tons of bugs and nothing's working and it's not, or it's working, but it's barely working. And now there's a list of the 30 things to fix. That's when trust goes down the tube and people want to have more and more conversations. Building things that actually work, that builds tons of trust.
So closing thoughts, Earl. We got about a minute and a half before we at the bewitching top of the hour.
Yeah.
Anything you want to conclude here?
Scaling is hard. I don't think I could say I've ever seen a wonderfully run scaling project because it's just got the human factor involved now, which no framework is going to be able to deal with. You've got lots of moving pieces. There's tons of uncertainty, but you can do better. You can do better by understanding the key patterns that you need to find a way to implement in your organization. The pattern around, are we actually packaging work so we can get the visibility we need that we're actually making progress? 25 features, 50% done gives me no indicator about when we're going to ship. If we have identified 250 consumer value threads and we've built 100 of them, I kind of know exactly where we're at, right? And I actually have a product I could release if I needed to. So that's a different kind of story. And then are we making decisions, particularly around those interfaces at the different levels of abstraction? How many do we need? Someone has to sit there and say, our job is to do that. And we have to do that in a collaborative way. Every level is going to say, what are we building at our team level that's collaborative? So as individual team, we're going to do tickets at individual team. At the product level, we're going to form some sort of team that says, we're going to own the product level integration. This is our job to build the product and make sure the product is always working. Well, the teams can work on their spot. We're going to make sure the product is always working. And then but the solution, who's there then thinking about who's going to make the solution constantly working, right? And that's their collaborative. They own and have to make sure that's always working. That's their number one priority. And so different organizations can have different strategies to do that. But when you get all these three working together, you're going to have a much more successful scaling than you probably have ever seen in your life.
Steve, want to add anything to that?
Yeah. Again, I want to circle back to Rebecca Worsbrock and her whole idea of values. What do you care about? And so, if the teams that you have are already reasonably good at collaborating, maybe the missing piece was just the packaging and some of the decision making, and that gets you more into the safe version of things. Whereas maybe it was the packaging and some of the decision making was working just fine. It was the collaboration that was the problem. And so that's why I might suggest that there are the different scaling frameworks out there, and there are variations in the scaling frameworks. They're addressing these three aspects of packaging, work, and decision making and collaboration differently, because in their experience, they need more structure here, but they're intuitively already pretty good at that over there. And so, again, you need sort of take a step back and look at these three aspects and then say, to what extent in my organization are we already doing this intuitively reasonably well, or is that an area that we need to shore up? And maybe meta process, I want to pick this out of safe and that out of nexus, because that helps me address the problems that I have in my organization. Because again, it's no one size fits all in the end. Understand where the gaps are and then structure yourself to address those gaps.
I like that.
Perfect.
That's our final word for today.